Hello and welcome to PlayStation Grenade. Can you believe it's already the final week of Season X? If you're new around these parts, in this series we meet up weekly and go through all the map changes in Fortnite and put together theories about the future, which could also be the past thanks to time travel. So slap code ADAMARU in the shop, think about subscribing to get me to 1 million subs, that'd be pretty cool, and let's go through all the minor changes that have happened this week. So today is the day that Gotham leaves Fortnite, but which Tilted will return in its place, so cancel that because it's staying until the end of the season. Well, that was anticlimactic. Yeah, Gotham's here until the end. The real update this week was over at Dusty. The rocket, now complete, has an indestructible control panel, which is completely interactable. Each few days, the signal becomes a little clearer, so go on, go touch it every couple of days, you know you want to. This could be your calling in life. You could be a NASA space engineer and you never knew. We also commented on the corrupted mechs last week, and true enough, a few hours later, the brutes which fell from above exploded on impact. If you remember Season 3, this is just like the meteor shards back then. Another bit of nostalgia. Here's something interesting. For weeks, I've been stood here waiting for the chalkboard at Dusty to update for a clue or a map or a destination for the rocket to go. Well, an awesome guy in my Discord called Majika told me that in Creative there is a prefab of this building, and when you put it down, something is indeed written on that chalkboard. And check this. It's a blueprint of the vault. This can be found on the island, over by the anti-gravity area at the Nexus. It was used prior to the vault opening, but I'm taking this as confirmation that the Nexus is going to be destroyed. If we look at the original rocket trajectory, it flies through the vault to claim the power. As everything is repeating itself this season, should the rocket follow this path again, it will destroy the orb when passing through it. Could this be how the season ends? The Nexus and the rocket collide. Before I go over the top with these theories, you guys noticed last week that the racetrack above Starry Suburbs is now unavailable, but it does promise to come back. So I guess we just stand and wait. Hutwatch, you were our hero, but I believe Kevin is coming for you this week, so rip the dream. But it's okay, we've got Hutwatch 2.0 now.
Version 2.0.
No change over here this week, but hang on, was there always a graveyard here? This has suddenly become a bit spookier than I expected. Let's see what happens here next week, or next season, if it makes it that far.
Version 2.0.
Oh, and have you looked in replay mode this week? If you did, you'd see these cassettes. How retro is that? Okay, let's check the audience. Please use the poll in the top corner. Have you ever owned or used a cassette to listen to music? And yes, they were still around when I was an infant. And yes, I'm so old. Well, these cassettes are great for two reasons. Firstly, in Save the World, the same event is going on right now with time travel and time bending. Record players, vinyl players, they're popping up to replace modern servers and PCs. It's damn freaky. In fact, holy balls, this could be part of the same timeline. So let's add it to today's theory. But the second reason to find these bad boys is to unlock a challenge in the overtime missions next week. The out of time missions will be available from Tuesday the 8th of October until Sunday the 13th. So let's get ahead of this and find out where they are right now. If you remember last season, we had a challenge to unlock extra skin variants for Singularity. Well, this season, we're doing the same sort of thing for the Scientist. Here's the 6 locations you need when the challenge goes live. First, get your butt over to Paradise or Moisty or whatever you call it these days. On top of the hotel is a yellow cassette tape from 1989, which was also a great year, by the way. Next, go over to Kevin's Island and look in the back of a pickup. Another cassette waiting for you. Go north to Retail Row and in the bookstore is yet another cassette. Up in Starry Suburbs is another one. This one can be found directly below the spire. It's on a bed. Next, go to Gotham and in front of the cinema is the penultimate cassette. And the final tape can be found down in Greasy Grove. Taco dance over to the restaurant and on one of the back tables is your destiny. This will unlock something next week, but if you don't know what it is, I shan't spoil it for you. But remember, these are not live yet. These are just in replay mode at the moment. So So, I think that's everything, is that right? Like usual, hit me up on Twitter if you see something I've missed. I'm Adam Grenade over there. Now is the time to plan out a story. This one has a few spoilers for Save the World, but mostly that timeline is the same as our own. But this is your chance to click off if you plan on playing Save the World before this season ends. Are you ready? Let's do this. Last week we talked about saying goodbye to the island. This week, it's about merging timelines and building a new beginning. What if I told you a message had been in front of our eyes all season long, building for years, seemingly in the background? From the beginning, we looked on as we brace for impact, seeing worlds collide and darkness rise. You better watch out, we cried as pirates came with treasure, and X marks the spot. As time flew forward, the future is yours for the taking, but ultimately, we are out of time. These are the taglines for each of the seasons. When added together, they give us a message. But one part of this message is more important than we first thought. X marks the spot. Season X marks the spot in time where the future is defined. But we are now out of time, and soon the island will be no more. But this isn't the time for sorrow. We've heard stories of the 7 dimensions, 7 timelines with branching paths and slightly different events, but only 2 of these we know of in person. The world of Battle Royale and the original Fortnite we call Save the World. In Save the World, the Guardians of Earth have survived the storms, which have killed 98% of the world's population. As hope dwindles, a meteor hits, just like here on our island. But this is where the timelines part. While we watched a cube lift an island, those in another world fought a god who resided in that cube, a demon of darkness. Both worlds survived Fort Nightmares, both saw the desert return, both took on evil versions of themselves, and both saw the meteor return. Now here's the important part. Have you ever wondered where those V-Bucks come from? Dr. Vinderman, a brilliant scientist from an alternate timeline. But sadly, he died before this story began. But just as we have seen on our island, the timelines are changing. Meteors are suspended without reason. Items are passing through dimensions without warning. Those trying to save the world used Dr. Vinderman's teachings to time travel and reset their reality. But here's where the timelines entwined. The original scientist, Dr. Vinderman, is still alive, lost in time somewhere out there. And the only other brilliant scientist we know capable of creating a time-bending machine is the scientist. Is Dr. Vinderman the real scientist? Is Save the World and Battle Royale about to combine? Will I finally get another thick skin? Oh, seriously, I need Penny in my life. Damn, girl! Oops, sorry, getting sidetracked. The season will end with an event which spans every phenomenon we've ever seen. Reliving all live events, but with a twist from other dimensions. Sadly, the island cannot handle this much destruction and time-bending shenanigans, and the Nexus is finally destroyed, bringing an end to time travel and resetting this story. But where will be our new home? This is our final week here, so dance with Hutwatch one more time, and get hyped for a brand new season, and hopefully the greatest live event in Fortnite history. And if you're wondering what happened in Save the World, well, they thought they fixed the timelines, when in fact they remain unstable.
All I know is that we lose in the end.
What do you mean?
You die.
Please stop telling everyone how they die.
The last thing we heard from those guys was the Cube joining forces with our heroes.
We hired the Cube? That's it. I'm going home early.
Okay, so that's it for today. I'll put together every single map update of the season into a 10-minute video later this week to watch before the event starts. You don't realise how many things you forget, like I forgot Frozen Greasy ever existed. And that was this season. On screen now are the people who were kind enough to use my code, ADAMARU, in the Fortnite shop. I really appreciate it. You guys are legends to me. I'm Adam from PlayStation Grenade. Let's meet up again next week. It's been a pleasure. I'll see you next time.